If you have ongoing exposure to controlling people, it's a virtual certainty that you're going to experience blurry boundaries, which is why I've created the extensive online course called This Is Me, Establishing Boundaries with the Controllers in Your Life. There's a link below that will give you all of the details, and I hope that you would find it therapeutic. I want to begin today by reminding you of something that's quite obvious, and that is in any relationship that you're in, whether it's inside your home or extended family, social life, place of work, and beyond, you have to have an element of truth, a strong element of truth between yourself and the other individuals if you're going to have the chance to survive and have a healthy engagement. Now, when we're dealing with narcissists, one of the things that we know about them is they have built what we call a false self. False, of course, being the opposite of truth. Narcissists decided a long time ago that they just wanted to make up certain thoughts and ideas that would serve their self-absorbed agenda, and truth is expedient to them, which means they lie a lot. And there are so many lies that they build their engagement style upon that it's essential for you to know what lies they're operating with, so that you don't get sucked into all of the dysfunction that would imply. Now, let me give you an idea of multiple lies that narcissists have bought into and they try to foist onto you. For example, one of the lies that narcissists believe is it's really necessary for me to tell you how to think and live. Now, obviously, that's not true. It's a lie. It's good for us to have interactions with one another, but one human being controlling another human being is not a formula for success at all. Or another lie that they have bought into and they want to foist onto you, and that is, if I make mistakes, it has to be someone else's fault. There you are. And so they go into this blame and accusation as a way of trying to dodge the truth that they're mistake makers and they're flawed from the inside out, and they have to take responsibility for that. And it's like, no, I don't have to do that. Well, then you're lying to yourself. Or another lie that they tell themselves, and that is, I'm entitled to favored treatment. You owe that to me. They have such an attitude of entitlement that they actually do believe that when they walk into the room, people are supposed to cater to them. Now, I'm all for being helpful and coordinated, but this entitlement, it's all built upon a lie of false superiority. And another lie that they say, and this is one that drives me crazy, and I wonder how many times you've heard this one. They may say something like, I'm not really being critical. I'm just trying to help you. No, you're being critical. You're lying to yourself when you say, I'm trying to help you. What they're actually doing is, I'm trying to make you conform so that I can feel better. But they have to couch their inappropriate behavior in something that sounds, pleasant and even altruistic. No, that's another lie that they have bought into. Or another lie that that's common for them is they may say something like, you may think that I'm being defensive, but that's not what it is at all. You just don't listen. And so when they're going into their defense mode, they're so busy trying to prop up their insecurities, but they somehow or another make it all about you. No, you're being defensive. Why don't we just call it that so that you can work on that? They can't do that. They can't tell themselves the truth. Or how about another one? And this goes into their anger style. Narcissists may say something like, when I'm really angry, it's because you're really awful. It's your fault. Or right on the tail end of that, they may say something like, I wouldn't even have anger issues if you just cooperated. And I'm thinking, no, that's a lie. And you've learned how to believe in your lie. You have anger issues, just say it. Because the way I look at it is that narcissist is going to remain angry, whether it's me on the stage or someone else. It's inside them. It's not something that I created. they have to take ownership of that, but they can't do that, so they lie to themselves about their anger problems. Or another one, and this is another one that's an eye roller. A narcissist may lie to themselves by saying, I'm a really confident person. And I'm thinking, no. Arrogant, maybe. Confident, no. Confident people don't feel the need to run other people into the ground to prop themselves up. That's yet another lie they say to themselves. Or as part of that, they may actually lie to themselves by saying something like, lots of people wish that they could have my smarts or my way of life or my influence. And you repeatedly prove that you're beneath my standards. Look at who I am. I'm the standard bearer. Or if you differ from me, it just means that you're a loser. I deserve so much more than what you have to offer to me. All of that's a lie. It's their way of having this haughty and self-impressed mindset to prop up their weak ego, and they can't be honest about that. And then how about another lie it's another eye roller? Narcissists will lie to themselves and say something like, words like should and have to and had better and supposed to are excellent motivators. And I'm over here thinking, doesn't motivate me. If anything, it creates the opposite. They think that it's that when they superimpose their thoughts, then somehow or another that means they're being a good leader. Yet another lie. Now, I mentioned that when they tell themselves these lies often enough, to them it actually becomes truth. There's another element there that you want to be aware of, and that is if you hear them come at you with all of these lies, eventually it can wear you out, and it can cause you to have some doubt. It's part of the gaslighting process. And you'll notice that you're buying into their lies when you plead your case with them, or you try to convince them that they can't think the way that they do, or sometimes you just lay down your healthy initiatives and go along to get along. You lose your real self. What if you were to pause and think, I don't want to go along with their lies. I'm not that kind of a person. I don't want to live with non-truth. So when you engage with me, we're going to take what we call a truth-only position. That's what we're going to do. And there are so many truths that you can hold on to that would be very contrary to what I just mentioned about their lies. For example, with respect to that narcissist, you can think to yourself, it's true. You have to be a deluded person to feel like it's okay to belittle someone else. You're a troubled soul that has not figured out relationships well at all. I understand that is truth. Or it's also true that behind all of your criticisms and your accusations, you're hiding something. And that something is fear. You dread being irrelevant. And I see it. Likewise, your anger and your bullying and your stubbornness and your dark moods, it's true that it's on you. It's not on me. Those kind of reactions that you have to the life in front of you reflect a troubled soul. You haven't figured out how to manage life very well. You have very little from the inside out to draw upon. And so you just try to put all of your needs onto everybody else and make them responsible. I see that for the truth that it is. And I'm not buying into it when you try to make me responsible for your bad moods. Likewise, it's also true that entitlement is not your right. And by the way, you've kind of forgotten that if you want to have special treatment, then the best way to get it is to treat other people special. That's a lesson you haven't figured out. But entitlement is not yours. I see what's going on with that. And it's also true that I see that your standards and values are very self-absorbed, and they have a self-serving mode angle to it. And what it means is you've lost your objectivity. You can't be counted upon to think things through in a very valid way. Now, there are other truths, too, that I'm going to hold on to about myself. And that is, I know it's true that my worth and my decency should be the focal point of our relationship. If you won't go there, I will. It's also true that I have a willingness to relate cleanly, but in order for us to have a relationship, it has to be a two-way street. In order for that to be a full circle thing, I need your partnership. But if you choose not to, then that's where you are. That's on you. When you decide to hold on to your cantankerous and difficult mannerism, I'm not required to be entangled with that. In fact, I'm going to disentangle from that. It's also true that when you engage with me often enough, you are going to see my flaws or my miscalculations. But if you'd like to be coordinated with me, you'd find that we could work it out. It's called being human. Let's be that with one another. And if you can't do it, then I'm still committed to being that way. I'm no one's inferior, and I have no need to be anyone's superior. And by the way, when I do establish my parameters, which means my assertiveness and my boundaries, I'm doing it for positive reasons. And if you can't appreciate that, that's on you. Narcissists will lie to themselves over and over and over. And then they want you to buy into their lives, but I'm hoping that you can take a truth-only mentality towards them. I don't want a relationship that's going to be based or founded upon lies, and so when you engage with me, then that's my standard. Now, let's wrap by saying, knowing that it's unlikely that the narcissist is going to go along with what I'm saying here today, I'm hoping that you can make a decision that nonetheless, despite their attempts to put their lies onto you, you're going to stand inside truth. And you don't have to make it your job to get them to see that truth, but instead, why don't we just say, let's let your integrity be enough. That's a truth that narcissists don't understand, but I'm hoping it can be a bedrock foundation for you. I hope that videos such as this can give you some good insight regarding what you're dealing with. We call the channel Surviving Narcissism. You can thrive. You can survive despite the fact that you have individuals like this who don't really know how to do life well that are in your presence. If you've not already hit that subscribe button, I would encourage you to do so, and the notification bell that goes along with it. Many times as you think through issues like what we're talking about today, it may prompt the thought that says, yeah, I could use some therapy. And my entire adult life, I've been referring people to therapy. Obviously, I'm a therapist, and I believe in it down to the core of my being. We have a sponsor that could help you out, and there's a link below that would take you to an online therapy source. And if that's something that you could utilize, I would strongly encourage you to take care of that so that you can move beyond some of the stuff that they've put inside of your mind. In addition, I have my courses. Free to Be, This Is Me, and they're about finding yourself and establishing boundaries, and they have multiple videos and written materials and questions that go along with it. It's meant to be a walk-through class so that we can help you in a therapeutic kind of way. In addition, we have my books and other resources below. By the way, you'll notice Gus slept through another one, didn't he? I hope you're kind of quiet when you're listening to this so you don't wake him up. He's my boy. Well, narcissists can't handle the truth. I hope that you can, and I hope that as you do so, it positions you to say, I am going to have that objectivity because I want to be a person that does stand for dignity, respect, and civility. That's part of your integrity. And in doing so, that positions you to become and to remain a person of peace.